Hello and welcome to Nobody Wake the Bugbear presents Bio Drones and Cryo-Clones by Chris Ario. This is the finale of this series of the Mothership RPG. We have John to my right, who is playing Charlie Valentine.
Initiating final thawing procedure.
People are getting sick of it, John. We've done this for weeks. Yeah, we'll get to that. You are now childlike. No, let's stay on you, Charlie.
There's a baby in the pod.
Well, I'll introduce the others. Josh, you are here to my left.
Yep.
Into the mic, please.
Yes.
Something palatable.
Palatable.
Yeah, so thousands of people are just going to hear you yelling into the mic and making lip smacking sounds.
Yes, I am here.
And then finally, Samantha.
Yes, I'm also here. I hope that was palatable.
It was very palatable. You have two characters, do you not?
Yeah, it's getting difficult. Well, not difficult to manage yet. I think if I had one more, we'd be bordering on impossible.
Yes. Please don't.
Yeah, no more. That's it.
You might not have enough time for any more clones because we are entering the end game. Simon, you are waking up another version of you.
This one will be just right.
Yes, this one will be fine. Charlie, you have only one Charlie remains. You did not smash the other clone in labs, the cloning tube, so technically there could be a Charlie 3.
Yeah. Let's hope not.
Yeah,
For all of our sakes.
Yeah. Would anyone like to recap what happened last week's episode? Samantha, you have not given us a recap yet.
Okay, lots happened. So, we started off in the foreman's office with Dr.
Hua Fenway.
Fenway, that's it. Yep, Dr. Fenway, who had control of some of the soldiers. That kind of got hairy for a minute. They were set to attack us. We managed to wrestle the control device from her and wrest control of the one remaining soldier drone after Valentine absolutely blew one to smithereens with his shotgun.
Yes, and then what happened to Charlie in the opening sequence?
Oh, yes, the opening sequence. So Charlie was extremely disturbed by a vision, a hallucination, due to all of the stress and panic that he'd undergone, and decided that he no longer wanted to exist and self-cancelled.
Pretty much. And then you found the time to disable the radio jammer.
Yep.
Finally.
So comms are up, which is great, which is one of our goals. And then we headed off to Simon, who's absolutely now kitted to the gills in the, what is that room?
It was the den.
The den, yep. He got kitted up there. Now he seems to be in a room with Naga-chan, who's in
What?
who's in the midst of being created.
It's Genova.
Yeah, enormous Chan.
Well, once Simon had hacked apart Ariel.
Yeah, that was a whole thing too. She really wanted Superior Chen out of that tube, and so Simon took care of that pretty deftly.
Simon's just going to find some of that tape where you see that infomercial, that dude just slaps tape on the tank.
We did say that earlier.
Did you?
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
But the leak isn't too immediate, so Simon has decided to bring Simon 2 into the mix.
Yeah, so long as it doesn't leak within half an hour.
Yeah.
Is Simon 2 spelled with 2 I's?
Oh my god.
No, just with a 2 next to his name.
No, Simon 2. It's like Simon.
Roman
Yeah,
numerals?
Roman numeral 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simon.
Simon.
You got Simon, and Simon.
And then
Okay.
Sivman.
Oh god. And then in addition to that, there's now an extra Dorian and a brand spanking new Charlie Valentine, who's a little bit different than the previous iteration.
I think Detective Bisher, yes, intercepted the new clones in labs, basically laid it all down,
Yeah.
and
No faffing around.
No faffing around, and somewhere towards the end of the episode, you disabled, or the middle, Dorian 1 disabled the jammer, and Detective Bisher quickly rushed back to send a distress signal.
Yep. And so now we're coming back to Simon finishing off his stuff and me, Dorian, figuring out the watch, and
Yes, sirree.
we're finishing cleaning the gun. The other Dorian.
We'll converge, just like the movie towards the end, where you're all montaging and it's splitting between the three of you, each doing your plan. Charlie arming up with Dorian 1 working out how to control these drones, and finally Simon enlisting his help in the end point chamber. And we will find out as we begin the finale of Bio-Drones and Cryo-Clones. Content warning. This actual play may contain adult themes, foul language, violence and gore, sexual references, and all kinds of body horror. Listener discretion is advised. We focus in on Dorian 1, his hunchbacked form and his rippling muscles as he stares down at Dr. Hua Fenway's watch, which he saw her control the bio-drones with. And you unlock the specifics of its use from controlling and practicing on the remaining soldier drone that's still there. You find the following information. You can control bio-drones that are close with this watch. You can use an action to issue commands to all close bio-drones, and those commands are shut down, halt, flee, attack, salvage, and I believe the last one was subdue.
Is there a follow button?
No.
Okay. So you can't have them follow you or send them into any particular area?
I think there would be. I just missed it out.
Yeah, she kind of summoned them to her. So like,
Yeah, that's correct. So make another one
like
follow.
follow.
But you would have to issue another command to make them
Yeah.
attack.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
I was hoping you could ride it.
Yeah, right. Like a horrible horse.
Yeah. Just sit on the barrel of the Gatling gun.
Well, I guess you can. It could carry you, I guess. You can latch onto
It does have many arms.
I was going to say Dorian's Mr. Hyde form might start getting too muscular for it to for it to keep going anywhere. It'll just have to crawl on the ground.
Yeah.
You'll have to find the Dorian 2 for it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and this is significant. Dorian, you walk up to this soldier and you select the follow command.
Mm-hmm.
And this soldier gets on all fours, or fives, how many arms it's got left, and just follows you like a little puppy dog
Great.
around the console.
Yeah, the sixth arm wags like a tail. It's like
Alright.
waving.
And
God.
is there anything else you want to activate while you are here? Any more messages or doors you wish to open or anything like that?
So I called out to everyone, but specifically Simon, because there's encrypted files that I am too simple to access in this space.
Sure, you said, Simon, come here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There's obviously been no response and quite a bit of time has passed.
Yeah, at least almost half an hour.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that he's dead.
Well, he said, I don't know what's happening.
Did I hear that?
Was it facility-wide? Or to just Dorian one?
Well, I had two options, which was facility-wide or Dorian and the other clones.
Sure.
I just said, before I just said open channel, and then you said, oh, well, you can direct it because you can see where everyone is. I at least wanted to reply to the Dorian I know,
Yeah, you can reply. You could have replied.
which
yeah.
was incoherent ramblings of, I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
Which
so
is-
he's not dead. Great. Excellent. And there's no way for me to tell where that comes from.
No.
So I've just got to go exploring now, but I feel slightly better about that because now I have like a big disgusting puppy. So
Just before you leave, I think you can recognize some of the other controls.
yeah.
One of them is opening doors, like the operations blast door. You can reopen that, the one that Charlie closed. And you can also turn off power to rooms, cutting off the lights and the equipment.
Bearing in mind that the space we came from is still full of... Well, you can control them, never mind.
Well, no, not all at once.
There's a limit. There's a limit to how many?
Well, it's everyone close. So you'd have to go up next to one. Or next to a few.
It's going to be easier
There's
if it
no
runs up to you.
radius. Okay. Is there a map of like the power grid, or is it just a list of rooms that I can turn power off to?
Yeah, list of rooms you can turn power off or on to any section. You see the medical bay is offline for unless needed for emergency use.
Mm-hmm.
Dorms is offline. Training area is offline. The commons and barracks, the parlour, whereas the apartments, the refinery, the factory is still running at half power. The tunnels is offline. And the operations is online as well.
Dorian's thinking about turning the power on to all the places that it's off and off in all the places that it's on. Because they're off for a reason, right? Whoever's the mastermind behind this would have turned those off, unless it was just to conserve power.
I feel like the factory is producing things.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to turn the power off to the factory.
Factory? What about the refinery with all the dozens of drones in it?
Well, the drones will persist with the power off, right? The power's not powering the drones because they're
not linked,
Yeah,
but you're not sure of the effect when their essence of their labour is stopped. You're not sure what's going to happen. You know
Oh,
what I
okay,
mean?
I'm going to turn it off because I don't want more of them.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll turn off the factory and the refinery.
So suddenly around the facility, you just hear it shake, and you, from the foreman's office, Dorian 1, you see the reactor and the factory just flicker, the lights flicker and then switch off. And you just hear this rumble. And then shortly after, just bangs. Almost like explosions in the distance. Simon, this is sort of happening while you're unconscious still, so you haven't registered it. But the others, while you're cleaning this weapon, just as you're almost finished, you hear the beginnings of these explosions and rumbling of the facility.
Am I unconscious?
It's just why you're transferring your...
No.
No, you're not unconscious, sorry. Simon,
My lord.
Simon, you see the lights flicker suddenly, but then almost if a backup power system kicks in and the lights come back in full in the operations room. As that is happening,
Does anything show up on the monitors with the cameras are doing stuff?
you see the lights in the refinery switch off and it switches to infrared vision. And you look at the monitor and you just see dozens and dozens of biodrones on the floor, crashed and half destroyed as they're writhing around on the floor.
Ew.
As they have collided with each other, they've run into walls, they've smashed about, the things looks in absolute disarray.
They're drunk.
Yeah. It looks like they're not even seeing where they're going.
Okay. Is there a map in this room? Or I kind of have the gist of the map that we saw earlier.
Sure, is anything you want to do before we cut away back to Simon?
I feel like the only place left to go is operations.
Sure, you
So-
press the door?
Yeah, I think I'm pressing the door. I'm pressing the door and I'm taking me and gross puppy.
The door begins to open. Simon, you look down just as you're completing Simon 2. Simon 2 flickers his eyes, and in the back to the west, you hear the door opening. How does Simon react to Simon 2 waking up?
Good, but what do I do? The doors! He's gonna look around and see if the other clones or if Big Chen's doing anything. Are they reacting to the door opening, or?
You see some reaction from this tube,
Which one?
The big one.
the big one.
Yeah.
You see some sort of procedure start as the cables go.
Does it look like that's happening because of the doors?
Well done.
You're not sure.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I was going to say? I was going to say, man, Dorian's really the rational one that makes the good decisions in this game.
And,
Hey, I stand by my decisions. I think they were good decisions.
You can't possibly predict that. Story doesn't know what's on the
Could
other
just
side
be
of the
time
door.
for her to hatch, you know? This
and
might not be my fault.
Simon too is waking up, looking at himself. What does he say to his other Simon?
Hello, Simon. Welcome. You're here to replace me.
Simon 2, roll a sanity save and then a panic, please.
But on the bright side, your panic table is very low.
Yeah, true.
What is the first one?
Sanity, please.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't think you can add anything to it.
Computers. Androids get replaced all the time. Sure I can't add something to this?
I'm sorry. Unless you can make a case.
Well, my computers and hacking skills would mean that I know that this is possible to transfer consciousness to a new drone, and new drones get commissioned. I was in a new commission.
New Android, you mean?
New Android, yeah.
So you know you're not a unique person. You're a standard model. Who makes these versions? Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, okay. I haven't thought about who makes these versions,
Yeah.
but it's typically a military company that goes about making combat droids who are there for security purposes.
Sure.
So I think he would be aware that it is possible to wake up and go, oh, okay, I'm here as a backup.
So you can add computers to your save.
Okay, 23 under 24.
Oh, that just got it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, please.
And you have to roll a panic. And I believe as long as you don't roll a
Oh.
2,
2 or a 1.
you're fine.
10.
Good. You are fine. And how do you respond to this activation?
I'm replacing you? What do you mean? What happened? A lot happened. I don't know what's happening.
He's just looking at Simon 1 wearing this full battle dress with like a helmet and this ancient Chinese armor.
You need to take my armor and my weapons and find the others. And he'll just start undressing in front of his other Simon.
So it might take a turn just to do this, to swap
Yeah,
equipment.
probably. And
Okay.
then as he's undressing, he'll explain that there are clones in the facility and that at the moment, the big thing in the tube over there probably needs to die.
You point at it and the fluid is now draining and draining and draining from this tube. You
Yeah.
think in about 10 minutes it will be completely drained.
It's amazing how it's faster for this thing to decanter than it is for an android to reboot itself.
And
Well, it's just on top of the table, it's responding for the power to be trying to shut down.
Oh.
Remember you shut down
So it
power?
was me, but not in the way that we thought it was me.
shut down
Yeah.
power to the refinery and the factory. Yeah.
Mm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, take the sword and those and that.
So Simon, you would know that by the rate of this fluid draining, you do not have time to put on the armor, but you do have time to...
Yeah, so
With the
Simon too is going to take the sword and stab it through the clones of the two,
Sure.
the old person and the young Chen.
They look like they were almost ready to decant, perhaps at any moment. But you and Simon 1 and Simon 2, you just begin smashing and the bodies just slide out on the floor. Their eyes flicker,
Yeah.
but you just dive down. You should get the revolvers out and in unison you just execute these two
Yeah.
clones.
And then they're going to look for a way to electrocute, to destroy whatever that thing is in the middle.
Sure. And then we cut to the others. You have just heard all these explosions. Your weapons have finished Charlie 1 and Dorian. Charlie 2 and Dorian 2. What do you do?
Sounds like there's trouble somewhere. Was that you on the radio?
It sounded like me.
Maybe we should go and find you then.
He said the foreman's office. So I guess that's all the information that Charlie and Dorian 2 would have,
Sure.
probably.
Must be near a factory then.
Oh yeah, we don't know the map.
Yeah, we haven't seen
This
a map.
iteration of us doesn't know the map.
Oh, which means we have to go to the computers.
No, when you walk back to the labs, you see the map on the wall, but that doesn't show the room to operation, but it does show the way to the factory.
Does it show the foreman's office?
And since the factory now has the open door of the operations, once you get there, you'll be able to see into it, right?
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
This is
the
me
plan.
saying to you, but your characters don't know that.
This is
Yeah.
you throwing you a bone and saying I could go and look in the computer terminal and look at the rest of the information that you wanted us to look at.
Sure, it's going to take time. Which you can do.
I really want to look at the rest of the computer stuff.
This is where, in labs with the terminals,
Yeah. The terminals that we didn't get to read all of it.
well, Charlie 2 hasn't seen any of it,
Yeah.
but hearing explosions and things like that, is that what you want to focus on? That's up to you. You can, but there's significant explosions happened just beforehand.
All right, fine. Let's go
Would Charlie ignore that and look at computers, or
let's go towards the explosions, I guess.
you don't have to?
Directly to danger.
You don't have to.
Maybe I want to look at the computers and see what's happening.
All right, let's
See
go
if
to
I
the
can figure
computers.
out.
But since John, the player, has already seen those things, correct?
Yeah, there's some things that I haven't seen.
Okay. So we can say that you went to this terminal,
Yep.
and this is going to take a turn.
Yep.
Dorian, are you going to stay here at the same time? You're going to split up another way?
That seems ill-advised with all the explosions. I'm just going to say, like, hurry this up. I think we've got places to be. Try and...
Stay there.
Yeah, it's a bad idea to do that.
So you, Charlie, you find everything about the cryo-clone life cycle.
Yep.
You know that from hours 1 to 3, the cryo-clones function like their normal human selves. And then at hours 4 to 6, the mutations begin and progress until they turn.
Looks like you and me have got about 3 hours before things start getting ugly.
You also find out that you are, of course, clones, but this has been confirmed to you before.
Yep.
You do not need to roll any more. You see the crew samples coming from all of you and Simon. Being an android, you now find out that Simon is a meat-turned clone. So I guess we get a sanity for that, please. And you also find everything you need to know about the stabilization serum and the treatment formula. However, you go to lab room 239 and there is no equipment there.
It's a 66 over 20.
That is a critical fail.
I got a 12 under 17.
Dorian 2, please take a stress and then roll a d20.
Okay.
What is your stress at the moment?
4?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So roll above a 4.
Well, that's the plan. That's a 13.
You are fine.
Excellent.
Hey, calm down. What's your name again? Dorian?
Yes.
Hi, Dorian. I'm Ollie.
What?
What? Dorian 1, you with your soldier biodrone puppy following you through the factory. You see
Mutant Dorian.
mutant-
Quasimodo Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian 1. Dorian 1, you follow through and you see those scouts, the 3 scouts that were flying around the factory, have crashed and just are laying in a pile of blood and gore and crawling weakly around.
Do I pass any more soldiers?
You do. There was a soldier guarding the reactor and it is still there.
Can I summon it and
You walk up to the soldier,
Bring it along?
bring out your watch, tell it to follow, and it just locks onto you and goes and joins you.
okay, excellent.
This
Fabulous.
is amazing.
And now you see into operations and you see the last bit of fluid draining from Superior Chen. And we cut back to Simon and Simon looking at the same thing. What do you do?
Well, Simon and Simon will try and comprehend what's going on with the drones that are following
You see
Dorian.
you see this mutant walking forward towards operations with 2 of these soldiers just following in tow.
I really didn't consider the optics of this.
It's dark,
Yeah.
and you just see the headlamp of Dorian's top version of his battle dress
Yep.
shining through the fog.
And I have no pants on.
and he's got no pants on.
Literally.
Well.
Yeah.
No. Oh no. What's happening here?
And how do you react?
I feel like they needed both roll fear saves.
Roll both roll fear. That disadvantage. Because you're both androids, right?
Yeah?
You make each other nervous. Wait a minute.
So roll fears at disadvantage.
Alright, so...
Yeah, it doesn't say non-android players.
It
It just
does.
says.
Like your extra fear save is to compensate.
I can't use military training for a fear save to stay cool, calm, and collected
Sure. Add it.
because it helps. So it's 82 under 87, sorry, for the first person.
Simon 1 passes.
Simon 1. Okay, 75 under 77, 87. So they both just pass.
Dorian, you're walking towards operations.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you walking in, the door opens to the refinery. And walking out through the darkness, cautiously, is a creature. Which I will bring up on the screen.
Oh.
John's mouth is agape.
Now, wait a minute.
Is it the legs?
And this is what you see.
Hello, Duchess.
You see
Oh my god!
It is the legs.
a gigantic pair of legs with wide childbearing hips. Just below them are 6 mammary glands oozing nutritious milk. And at the stump of this hip area is a metallic pelvis with crests protruding like glinting ears, and a wet tentacled socket gapes in its exposed cybernetic sacrum. And you have found the mother as it has ventured out in the darkness.
Oh, those legs are going to attach to the
Yep.
top half.
Do you know what I love though? Is when Charlie had the hallucination of the legs,
Yeah.
and we were all like, "Where the hell's the milk coming from?" And Andrew was like, "You can put 2 and 2 together." That's not 2 and 2.
That's not 2 and 2 at all.
There's no math in this universe.
This is 5
that
and
equals
9.
That. Yeah, exactly. That is.
So that's going to start moving towards the top half.
Yeah.
Please, Simon, Dorian, roll a speed. And Charlie and Dorian too. Everyone roll a speed.
Can we use our, like, what are we doing? Can I add my military training to that, or not really?
I wouldn't.
It's just a straight speed?
For the number 2s, I wouldn't, because we're not anywhere near this.
Yes?
No, but Dorian won.
Simon and Dorian, if you have military training, you may add this.
Okay.
Oh.
Perfect.
Yes.
Charlie,
So,
no.
both pass. One was 35 under 48, and the other one was 47 under 48.
I got a 3 under 33. Oh, 43.
74 over 47.
And Dorian too.
Oh, I
hang
didn't
on.
realize Dorian 2 was doing this. Give me one
Everyone.
moment.
Sorry, the one in the advanced battle dress is a disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay, 21, that's fine.
Oh, it's 44 over 43.
Here's what's going to happen. Everyone who passed is going to react right now as we are in initiative. What do you do? Who wants to go first? Dorian 1 or Simon 1 and 2?
Dorian 1 is going to command the soldiers to attack the wet nurse, the mother.
Let's do it. The 2 soldiers level their guns and begin firing
Yep.
at what we'll refer to as the wet nurse,
Mm-hmm.
the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to roll or me?
You can roll.
All right.
I like how you said it has childbearing hips. It is childbearing hips. There's nothing
It's
else
all
to
hips.
it.
Soldier 1, success. Soldier 2, failure. Soldier 1 does 6 damage to the wet nurse. And it reacts, and this big puff of sort of like scent, this rich scent comes out of its glands. And that is their turn. So your turn is to command them to attack.
Yep.
And then they
Can
will
I
just keep...
move?
Yeah, sure. You can move into the operations, and that'll be the extent of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm heading that direction.
You run into operations, and that is your turn. Simon 1 and Simon 2.
Do I remember if there are more weapons in that room that precludes the operations room?
You do, but since we're in initiative, it'll take minutes to get there.
Okay. But it's just going to attack the big torso.
Sure, sure. I'm going to give it cover because it's in the tube.
Okay.
So I'll give it 10 AP.
Okay.
So you may fire.
Did I manage to get out of the battle dress and swap places, or is the battle dress is still on the...
Still on, the main one.
The main...
Yeah, Simon 1.
Simon 1.
Yeah.
Simon 2, first of all, is going to shoot the revolver.
Go for it.
So, got to go 49. 43 under 49,
You hit.
which is how... 1d10?
1d10 with advantage for revolvers.
Well, I don't think I'm going to beat 10. So 10 damage.
Cool. You destroy this tube,
Yeah.
and Superior Chen falls out onto the ground.
Because what I was going to...
Yeah.
Now that the tube's destroyed, I'll just say what I was going to do with the other Simon.
Sure.
I was going to have him dive into the tube and then just hold his sword out
Sure.
and try and impale the thing. So I guess he doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Your attack, you may now attack.
Yeah, Simon's gonna try and
Try to
slice.
chop. And it looks like she's starting to move as the cables have been detached.
This is like Evangelion.
Yeah. Oh, no.
32 under 49.
That is a hit.
The mother.
The mother is coming.
Oh, it is Evangelion.
I can imagine if they join.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
16.
16 points of damage. You hit this creature and you hear this giant woman's voice scream out in Mandarin.
You will regret that.
As it's speaking in Mandarin and you're understanding
But
it.
you're just not right.
Simon 2, please make a sanity save. As you can speak and understand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a callback.
That's a callback, people. Every little thing counts.
It's just not right.
89 over anything.
You fail, take a stress. And that is your turns. We now go to the others. The wet nurse will walk towards you, Dorian, and get close enough to try a pheromone surge.
Oh, God.
Please make a body save.
Taste my milk.
No, it's a 73 over 30. What is that? 8?
You fail, and you are now compelled to protect the wet nurse.
But the drones will continue their command of attacking.
That
so
is
it's
true.
Not all is lost.
For 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It is Superior Chen's turn. She climbs up with her strong arms.
Lift me up.
She-
Strong arms.
She looks at you, Simon, and says,
Worthless 250.
and launches a pummel attack.
I should say worthless 250.
Yes.
That's a slur.
As the slur in Chinese and English overlap each other. 94. She
So that's a
just
fail.
swings past and maybe hits the side of the tube, smashing glass everywhere. Then she tries to crawl up and goes up to the side, towards the side of the wall to the north. She's just crawling around on her. Actually, no. If she sees the wet nurse, she's going to move to the door of operations. And that is her turn. And now we move to Dorian 2 and Charlie 2. Now, here's the thing. How are you going to get into this combat?
Well, we heard a giant woman screaming, probably.
Not through hundreds of meters away.
We're running. Probably.
But if you take all your actions to double run, I'll get you there in 2 turns. 2 rounds.
Might as well. Let's just go. I'm just here to fight.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm doing my job. I'm a security guy.
All right, so 2 rounds on that. I put a timer. And this is just so you can have actually these people doing stuff and not have to take 15 minutes to run through the facility.
Yes.
You make your way into the refinery and you just step past all these damaged drones writhing in levels of destruction. To the south, you see the exosuit loader locked behind another drone that's just been smashed to pieces.
Wait.
It is locked, so it will take a round to get through.
But it's a power suit,
It's
right?
an exosuit loader.
Let's do it.
You sure?
Yes.
It's going to take an extra turn.
I don't
Dorian.
care.
Yep, I'm down.
I was
Alright.
going to say, as Ollie walks into the room, he sees half of a smashed vial lying on the floor from Charlie discarding his twins.
Yeah.
We enter round 2, and I do believe Dorian 1 and Simon 1 and 2 may go. What do you do? Dorian, you must protect the wet nurse for 3 rounds, I do believe I said.
Yep. So the only thing that's currently attacking the wet nurse
Is
are
the
the sentries.
Sentries.
So I guess I will
Switch them off.
Yeah. God damn it. I was going to try and attack.
Oh, that big torso is trying to attack the wet nurse. Get it?
What's your favorite smell?
That's a hard one to answer. Probably, I feel like Dorian probably has like a favorite Yankee candle that he doesn't tell anyone about. You know,
Then
just
that
a
is
smell.
the smell that's
Yeah.
wafting off this wet nurse.
Delicious. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm switching them off.
You look down at your watch and you turn off Soldier 1 and 2, and they just shut down. correct?
Yep.
Because you're protecting the wet nurse. You're not attacking. you
Yes.
know, the
No, but nothing else is harming the wet nurse. So,
No.
yep.
And you can now move yourself to go and caress its body if you
Yeah,
wish.
I suppose. Well, I don't wish, but I suppose that's probably.
Feeling thirsty?
Yeah, I guess I'm going over there.
You
It's
don't
hard to resist.
Right.
Well, I feel like pheromones are a really like base,
Oh, yeah,
instinctual thing, right?
You're programmed to. You're programmed to combine with this thing. So
Combine.
you're well and truly acting
Yeah.
in its best interest. Simon 1 and 2, you may now go. Superior Chen is climbing
Are
up
there
the
any-
side.
Consoles that will close the doors.
Sure. It'll take a round to close, though. It'll take another round of closing.
I'll get Simon 2 to hit the close button.
Okay.
And
Sure.
Simon 1 to wrestle back the torso and restrain it for the doors to close.
The torso,
It's pretty big.
it's like 10 meters up now.
10 meters up.
It climbed up the wall.
Oh, I missed the climbed up the wall.
Oh,
bit.
sorry. I did originally say it was climbing up the wall
I
to the
it's-
north.
Yeah. And
Yes,
then
it
I-
attacked you.
it's on the floor. What do you want to do?
so it's on the floor.
It's on the floor.
Okay.
Yes, I do apologize.
So I was going to wrestle it back with Simon 2 wearing the exosuit because I'll have advantage on strength.
The armor.
Yeah.
Sure. You can try.
So I'm going to try and pull back
Let's do
and restrain while the other one closes the doors.
a
So
contested
it gives enough
strength.
time, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hopefully advantage will help. Dang it. Yeah, that's a fail. 63 over 49.
Please remove another point of stress from your most relevant stat.
Oh yeah, that's that, Simon.
Yeah.
Yep. So
You are not successful, and that is your turn.
other Simons push the button.
It has. The door is closing. It'll take It'll take a full turn from this one.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. It's their turn. Then it will be Dorian 2 and Charlie 2's turn. Superior Chen goes to bash you once more. Simon 1. Critical. Success. 11.
Like critical.
I know. First off,
Yep.
you take a wound,
No, I don't.
which is negated by your armor.
Yep.
Then you take 15 damage.
A wound plus 15 damage.
Correct. I believe the critical
5.
effect is a wound added. Let me just check. I'll just make sure if it's a critical total or adding. Come on.
Come on. Come on, do it. Kill me.
So it does mention it, so I'll do the extra wound and I'll just do the normal damage. 15 damage.
Doesn't
Taking
mention
that?
the wound at all?
No.
So you just made it up?
It was in the old version,
The old version.
the old update, but it mentions the wound.
Well, what does it say in the old update then?
Criticals do a wound in addition, I think.
Because I thought that's what you were checking.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to push for you to check the old one then.
Well, we don't use
If it
the
was
old
on
one.
the old one.
Yeah.
But yeah, well then why use part of the old one?
I won't. But a critical has to do something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What does it say on the new one?
Oh, let's do double damage. So you take.
Hang on, what's an example of a critical hit on the other things?
Well, it says it ignores your first wound. So let's just say it has ignored your armor. So now your armor's stuffed. But it was a critical success. So yes, it
I'm
negates.
just trying to. So like if with the normally it's like if you get a critical hit, you roll on a table normally. Right?
Yeah, that's only if you lose a wound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought the criticals.
So let's just do flat double damage.
confusing.
So
Okay.
30 points of damage.
All right.
How much damage do
So-
you have on each wound?
Lose a wound, and then that's ignored, and then take the remainder in health. And then that'll be
So whatever a wound would be,
true.
which is 20,
Yes.
and then the remainder is 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so 0
Why?
because I've got 10 AP
Oh,
and I
it-
ignore the first wound.
Ignore a first wound means that's your armor done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
So your armor's
0 to me, but now the
10
armor's done.
10 to you.
because-
10 to you.
Well, The armor has 10 AP and ignores the first wound.
No, it just has 10 AP / ignores the first wound. So that means it can block a wound worth of damage, plus it's got 10 AP as its threshold for normal damage.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking.
So you get around losing a wound straight out from weapons that do a wound directly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right,
So-
let's move on to the wet nurse. The wet nurse, now protected by Dorian, will go and try to pheromone blast Simon. Please make a body save.
10 under 25.
You pass,
I pass.
and you do not have to protect the freaking wet nurse.
Good.
And that is their turn. We now go to Charlie 2 and Dorian 2 standing outside this exo loader.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to get in?
Well, in what way is it locked? Is it just a padlock?
I'm saying you could probably bash it or shoot it.
Shoot
Sure. Yeah, that'll just take your action.
Yeah.
Then you can move inside and you see this.
I'll use my action to shoot the lock. You go inside it.
Okay.
So this is what you see in the refinery.
Give us a look. See?
Here we go.
Come on, England. Score some balls.
You see a small flatbed truck that needs repair, and you see a rusty exo loader. Must clean or operates at disadvantage.
Ugh.
So you start getting in it. It is
Oh,
old
well.
and rusty,
Disadvantage. Just take it.
Yeah, that's fine. I have a plan.
and you climb in this. You also see manufacturer boxes containing pristine jetpacks that take 1 hour to assemble.
Oh my god. Okay.
Exo loader?
Yep.
Exo
I'm
loader.
getting in.
You
Yep.
get in, and it just and then creaks as it starts up. And just like in Alien, Dorian is sitting within this exo loader,
You kill your old self with it.
and that is your turn. And we now go to the next turn. Dorian or Simon, you see the door closing, and
The wet nurse is in the door.
well, my token was in there. It's abstract. What do you think? Make a speed check for the wet nurse to be in or out of the door? Or would you think it's more towards Dorian's level? What do you think?
Towards Dorian's.
Yeah, is it going to be closed off or stuck in with you?
Well, I was going to try and close it off. That was the whole point of the doors. So if there's an opportunity to get it over the other side
Sure. The door
by pushing it or whatever.
just closes. Dorian, you are now stuck outside with the wet nurse. What is it?
okay.
Kicking against the door. Simon, you are inside. Simon 2, you are here as well. What do you do?
Time to hit. And just hit.
Let's go.
Lots of hitting.
Let's go. We're going to speed through this. Speed round.
7 under 49.
You hit. Roll your attack with your vibe dial.
11 damage.
11 points of damage. You blow off a big chunk of flesh as it enters its first wound. And it says,
You mixed egg bastards. You need a good beating.
Oh.
as it turns to you in rage, being locked off from its wet nurse.
Simon 2.
Shoots at it.
Yeah, I was going to try and think of a quip, but I'm just too...
Now's
There's
not the
just too
time.
much going on. Well, no, because Simon 2 is still back into his I love CSI Miami phrase. So... You're nothing but an empty nester. And then he's going to shoot.
Go for it.
17 under...
You hit. Please do
49.
your damage to Superior Chen.
And this is a D10 at advantage. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. Its turn. Superior Chen tries to rip Simon in half.
Cool.
Like the alien queen.
Failure. This is happening all over again. It's a miss. We now go on to the wet nurse. The wet nurse begins kicking at the door. Bang. Bang. Let's do a combat. Failure. Not successful. Dorian, you're still protecting it for this round, and you'll be fine next round.
Yep.
In the exosuit, Charlie and Dorian make their way and open the door, and you now see into the room. That's the extent of your turn. We now go back to the Simons, and Dorian, you now have your faculties with you.
Okay. I'm back.
Wait. As the doors open and I see what's going on,
Sure.
I just say,
Mother!
Roll of fear, Dorian and Charlie too, as you call out to the mother and it turns towards you through the darkness.
Oh, that's bad.
32 under 40.
You pass.
And 83 over 41.
You fail. Take a stress.
Mm-hmm.
And now we go to Simon's or Dorian 1.
Well, Dorian 1 would like to back the hell up. I assume he'll probably figure out what's happened.
Sure.
He's put 2 and 2 together. So he's backing right up, and then he's commanding the sentries, the soldiers, to fire. I don't want them to get too close because I'm going to assume that something similar mechanism can happen with the soldiers. So, like, I just want them to be at the maximum range of their gunfire and then shoot
Sure.
the wet nurse.
They move and then shoot the wet nurse from long range. Here we go.
There's one Dorian controlling the biodrones, and there's another Dorian in the exosuit.
Yep.
2 successes. A total of 25 damage to this thing. Here we go.
Can Dorian 1 now see Dorian 2?
Yeah. Hi. What do you want to say?
I guess we'll lock eyes and be like,
Let's do this.
yeah, that's it. Just exchange knowing glances.
Bring in mind, Dorian 1 is a hulking.
Yeah, he's a mutant.
You see through the darkness just the spinning lights of this exosuit loader. Just the beam is just flying in circles and lighting up this area. The red glow covering everything. Simon's.
Simon.
And Dorian 1 sees the new Charlie alive and well.
Simon's going to go for the attack again.
Go for it. Let's go.
Oh, that's a fail. 73 over 49.
Minus your stat, and then let's go to Simon 2.
Just chipping away.
He's getting dumber by the second. We're going to roll. Critical failure, 55
Please
over...
roll a panic. We know you're going to panic.
19. Safe.
Android 1, Mr. Simon, your flesh and blood heart begins to rupture.
Huh? Why?
Because you just failed a panic.
No, I didn't.
You critically failed.
No. Simon 1 is the one that attacked Superior Chen
What was the critical failure?
from Simon 2 trying to fire a revolver.
Oh, Simon 2 failed.
Yeah.
Did you roll them both but not do the damage for Simon 1?
Simon 1 missed. No, did he miss? Yeah, Simon 1 just normal missed, so I subtracted from my score. Then we went to Simon 2, and he critically failed.
Oh, so I thought it was part of Simon being critically failed.
And he passed
No.
the panic on Simon.
And I passed for the... yeah, correct.
with a 19.
With a 19.
All right.
Yeah, because Simon 2 is a fresh start.
So no
Yes.
damage was done,
No damage was done.
and Dorian's had his turn.
Dorian 1 has had his turn,
But
yeah.
Simon 2 will say, Simon says stand still.
Superior Chen will attack the door. Critical failure. I cannot believe this game. So Superior Chen goes to get the door open and just bends the metal so much, locking it jamming it further.
Jams the door shut.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that is its turn. It is the wet nurse's turn. The wet nurse runs towards. This will be the crescendo to find out what will happen in the adventure,
Good. Come to me.
as all 3 of you must roll a body save.
Oh, please.
So I'm rolling for 2 Dorians.
Oh, hang on. It's only one PC at a time.
Oh.
Well, okay, which one?
The mutant Dorian.
Mutant Dorian? Okay,
Yes.
here we go. This is a body save, did you say? No.
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. Can I add my military training?
You sure can.
Okay, cool.
Why? No. You
No,
didn't do that
that's fine.
before.
Did I?
Did we?
I think
No.
I did. It depends on what's happening.
Not for pheromones, no.
No,
Pheromones,
pheromones. No,
no.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, it's terrible. It's again 83.
Well, you fail, and you must protect again the wet nurse
Excellent. Yep. Fabulous.
for 5 rounds.
Ooh, that hurts. Okay.
Okay. Can I go first?
We cut to the exosuit loader.
Oh,
And
you go
Dorian.
first.
Charlie 2, you may go.
Well, Charlie 2, seeing this horrible thing, he cricks his neck and twitches, levels his shotgun, and just says, I killed you once, I can do it again, you whore! I turn back into Charlie. And I'm gonna shoot with
Shotgun blast.
shotgun blast, under 62. 46 under 62.
You blow off a wound from this thing. as one of the mammary glands explodes.
Boom, baby!
Dorian, in the exosuit loader, what do you do?
Okay, Dorian's assessing the situation. I feel like he's going to...
Crush it with your claws?
Well, I thought about that, and then I tried to think about what's the best way to ensure finality
Run into the reactor.
and overload the reactor and take everyone out.
But this is Dorian 2 thinking this. You've
Yeah,
just
Dorian
woken
2.
up. You haven't
Yeah.
got much stress. Would he
Yeah.
destroy everything?
I think he's weighing things up. I think so.
Dorian, activating the exosuit loader, runs towards the reactor. And we fade out. We cut one last time to the two Simons inside operations. Locked in now with Superior Chen. What do you do? 2 more attacks? Try to flee through the northern secret door or the southern secret door
Well, Simon failed his first attack.
and can now only move.
He's going to run to the north door.
Simon 1?
Simon 1's going to run to the north
So
door.
Simon 1 knows the secret door's there. So he will run to the door to try to escape. Simon 2?
Simon 2 is also going to run to the north door and...
Will just Simon 1 say anything to Simon 2? You have to talk.
No, they're just going to run to the north door.
So Simon,
He can attack from a distance.
Simon 2 is just going to follow Simon immediately
Yeah.
without conversation,
Well, they're the same person.
without communicating. But he wasn't doing that before.
Oh, come on. We can.
I mean, I thought we were just rushing through it, that's all.
Well, you can talk to each other. It makes sense.
Okay, so Simon 1 will run to the north and say, we need to go this way. And then he'll run up to the north, and then Simon 2 will be like, go to shoot and be like, all right, this way. And he's going to run towards the north and try and get through the door.
And you run into this room that looks like some sort of escape tunnel. And this old dusty door with the cold mountain air flowing through the door is in front of you.
Okay.
In the background, you see Superior Chen begin to crawl her way towards you with great speed. And we fade out. You wake up. Charlie, Dorian, Simon. Out of cryosleep. Surrounding you are men in uniform, men in lab coats. As you're regaining your faculties, they drag you and place you into individual confinement. Over the course of a week, you are interrogated by Nanshao Command. We cut to Charlie sitting in a chair, an official standing over you. Are you members or share loyalty with the Chen dictatorship?
No.
What do you know?
Once I was a real turtle. But now that I've left the arms of the Duchess's nurse, I'm a piglet. One of the mushrooms makes me smaller. I must only join the caucus race. Happy unbirthday to me.
We fade out. We cross into another interrogation room. Dorian was sitting down. Another official stands over you. Do you have any affiliation with Dr. Hua Fenwei?
Do I have any memory of what's happened?
No. You've just woken up.
And I don't remember anything about going on the mission.
No.
Nothing.
You are Dorian Black at the start of his cryosleep.
No, I've not. No, not at all. We've just been here on cryosleep. We were sent on a mission.
We fade out. Lastly, into a room with Simon. Sitting down in a chair, standing over him, is an official. What do you know about the goings-on at the Mountain Forces R&D Facility?
Simon will hold a cigarette up and put it in his mouth, and you'll hear this kind of whirling, and the cigarette kind of lights up, takes the cigarette away. You hear another whirring.
You don't have a cigarette.
Hey,
You don't have your cigarettes.
he'll still make the motion.
Okay. It's weird.
He's watched way too much.
Yeah.
He'll still make the motion. And go, can't say I know exactly what you're talking about, Slick. Never heard of the place.
He's going to uncross his legs and then...
This interrogation goes on for days. Until, after about a week, you are all cleared. And you are all brought together into a room once more. First time you're seeing each other after waking up. And officials over the next few hours debrief you about the occurrences at the Mountain Forces R&D Facility. You are told that the facility was overrun by biomechanical drones, and 7 days into a strike force being sent out, a nuclear explosion leveled half the mountainside. They explained to you that your DNA and neural prints were stolen and you were cloned and experimented on. When they went to investigate the wreckage, they found no trace of these clones. They explained to you Fares Bisha, and over his testimony through the comlink, they pieced together what happened. Nanshao Command said the actions of a clone does not fall under the terms of use of the Sleeper Crew contract, and Nanshao refuses to pay out your promised Sleeper Crew bonuses. However, you were all allowed to remain out of cryosleep and are offered to do work picking up the pieces of the disaster in the Mountain Forces R&D Facility. And that is the end of biodrones and Cryo-Clones.
This flesh is not my flesh.
I was going to say,
And
if
that's it.
Simon really had his cigarette, you could tell him if he got a head spin or not, and that's how we would know if he was like
It's
a
like
meat bag or an android now.
Simon, once you're released, you just happen to bring up a cigarette in your case, put it in your mouth, take a puff, and exhale the smoke. And then we fade out.
It's like Inception where the
that's
spinning
it?
top
Yeah.
keeps spinning.
Oh boy.
That's what I said earlier. I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything because I might need to, I have a plan.
To blow up the...
Yeah, I'm taking everybody out.
Sure.
So did you manage to escape 2 Simons, followed by Superior Chen? Or was the nuclear explosion too much to level the place
Simon 1 was going to block the doorway with the suit.
and just be ripped to shreds
just
slowly?
let himself get ripped into shreds.
So maybe out there crawling his way out of a bunker is Simon 2 with these 2 revolvers, flesh and blood,
Yeah.
wandering about
Injecting himself with stabilizer until he runs out. So 24 hours later, he mutates.
injecting himself with the stabilizer until he mutates into this disgusting creature who just wanders around.
Yeah, he becomes the
The mountain.
Sasquatch of the mountainside.
Oh my.
So
This
I guess-
spiny creature.
I guess it's canon that Charlie Valentine has been so paranoid about being cloned that he's
Hang on.
had this secret code planned the entire time. Because I didn't realize we were supposed to not remember anything, so I did my Alice in Wonderland speech.
Go.
I think Charlie has been paranoid his whole life about being cloned, so he's had this secret code thing planned for like years that he would use Alice in Wonderland to
Yeah.
communicate with himself. So people, shutting him into a room talking about clones, he would like repeat the thing he always planned to write to himself or something similar. That's how I'm justifying it.
Yeah. Well, what an amazing end to an amazing module.
Yeah.
And I will go for the outro and then we'll finish on our final thoughts, shall we? That was the finale of Nobody Wake the Bugbear Presents Biodrones and Cryo-Clones by Chris Ario. You can pre-order the adventure through BackerKit The link is in the description below. You can also find Chris's other games on their itch store at www.chrisair.itch.io. Josh, you always get a kick out of that name. Itch. Never mind. I got a blank look.
Oh, I just got it. Okay.
Ready?
It's because of anus.
Ready? Biodrones was written by Chris Ario and also features art by Alex Vini, maps by Daniel Hallinan, editing by Ros Lay, layout design by Eric Alsandor, cultural consulting by Ariane Lee, and additional development by Christian Sorrell. We have been Nobody Wake the Bugbear. You can find us on our socials at NWTB Podcast and at NWT Bugbear for our Twitter. The video version of the podcast will be posted to our YouTube channel at NWTB Podcast. The VTT map was adapted from Daniel Hallinan's Warden's map included in the adventure. The intro theme was composed by our very own John. Good work, John.
Thank you.
And the series also features the fine synthwave music of Carl Casey at White Bat Audio and Alex Nakarada at serpentsoundstudios.com. Other sound effects and music have been sourced from freesound.org using the Creative Commons license. This series would not be possible without the support of our generous Patreon supporters. Thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Everyone say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you to yourself. If you like what we do and want to keep the Mothership content flowing, please consider joining us at patreon.com/NWTBPodcast. You can also support us for free by checking out our socials and leaving a review. The podcast is pretty good, don't you think, John?
Yeah. I mean, don't bother listening to them because it's all downhill from here. This has been a pretty good one.
Yeah. Once you leave, the quality will drop.
That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was all the other ones we've recorded have probably been not as good as this one.
We'll find out. It's a fine words to say at the start of a...
We said that about Year of the Rat.
We said that about Year of the Rat too, in fairness.
Yes. Anyway, tell your friends about it. Get them to try Mothership. It's a great game.
It's a great game.
And I'll finish on this. Thank you all very much for listening. Stay tuned for our next Mothership one-shot where we will be playing Silence on Narcissus.
Which was written by me.
A space-bending adventure set on board a laboratory experimenting with the teleportation technology and the passing between dimensions.
Yes, that's mine.
Yes, fully written and wardened by our very own John. That's right. Andrew will finally be an anagram for player, as I will be finally be playing.
As all names are.
Yes. We have been Nobody Wake the Bugbear, and we will see you in space. John,
Space.
Josh, Sam, what is your final thought on your experience over these 6 episodes?
It's just not right.
It's just not right.
That pretty much sums it up.
Boom, baby.
I'm very proud of my work. I'm very proud of the work that I did with that character. I think it'll
I think we can all give you
came together very
everyone a round of
Charlie.
applause.
I'm glad. I think all of the character arcs
Yeah.
were very good. I enjoyed all of them.
It was just the narrative weaving stung the roof of my mouth with flavor for how much we savored it.
I appreciate that being the android, that I was the one that woke my own clone up.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
So that's really good because another step in this adventure is Ariel is the android. She was going to operations at hour 5 to start Simon up again, install the logic core, give you the secret orders to go and deactivate yourself in the cryo tube, the phony one. She was the one activating you each time. And you went with her into operations, killed her, and then ended up activating you, doing it yourself.
Yep.
It's just amazing. And you, didn't get a chance to do the treatment formula because the base went nuclear.
Yeah, I was thinking we were so close to just doing it.
Yeah.
And then you just blew us up.
Were we?
I had that down pat. I was going to kill it.
I don't know, because here's the thing. There's 2 of them. And I know that it's useless. Maybe it's useless without the other half.
I mean, I would think it would be great if Simon 2 ended up taking the med kit from Simon 1 that had some of the samples and the instructions on making the stabilization form, like the cure.
Sure, but...
And then being like, but he blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I had to... Dorian was like, you know what? Time's up. I'm finished gambling. That's it. This is the only way.
So the wet nurse...
You got one look at your mutated self and thought, nope.
Yeah.
I would have been... for me, it's taking one look at a giant pair of legs with boobs.
Yes.
So the wet nurse had 17 health left and 2 wounds.
Yeah, see? It had to be done.
My shotgun shaves off whole wounds.
Yeah. Superior Chen had 16 health left and 5 wounds.
Mm-mm.
So she would have probably ripped Simon 1 limb from limb. Let's face it. Simon 2 would have escaped. And maybe Superior Chen crawled out as well. Who knows? We will not know. Maybe we'll put it in our lore, our campaign lore, when we start a campaign, if that is going to happen or not. But we will sign off now. Everyone happy?
I'm happy.
Yep.
Good. Thank you, Chris, for an amazing module.
Yeah, what a...
Notice Josh didn't say he was happy. That's fine.
Yeah, I was trying to do it subtly.
Yeah.
Canon.
It's canon. But
what
yeah.
a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Quite
What a
frankly.
mindfuck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In more ways than one.
Can I just say the person responsible for the art? I'm both...
Alex Vinny.
Yeah, Alex Vinny. I'm both impressed and disturbed. It's very like Geigerish,
Yeah.
and it's super cool, but very unsettling.
I'm doing a montage
I like the lips.
of all the drones
Can we
on the
s-
screen.
Can we see the completed?
All the mutants are showing up next. The Hunchback, the twins.
It's me. It's
The-
you, Simon.
Look at that anus.
Look at that anus. You see the character portraits of the various NPCs included in this book. And lastly, you see
Oh.
There
the
it
combined Chen Shenting.
Does she have another person as an arm?
That's
No,
that's
she's
a
holding
Simon
a person.
clone
She's
that's
holding a Simon
mutated
clone,
yeah.
yeah.
that she's using as a club.
It's canon.
Oh, God.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Dun, 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 dun.
Action.
Action. Who wants to
Terminator
start?
music.
Who wants to start? Quick, you got a minute.
I'll do it. Dorian will do it, figuring out the watch if you want. And then, because he kind of has, he wants to figure out how many drones he can control with the watch.
Du, 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 du. Synth.
This would be immediately after hearing Simon be like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, again. Well, no, you haven't sent that message yet.
No, that was the first message I sent. What I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
send was reading out the console
Oh.
of information.
The
You didn't
files.
get to that yet, did you?
No,
'Cause you had
I was
to-
going to, but then I was
You're
told about
preoccupied
my...
with the.
You
Yeah.
noticed. Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about.
That thing.
Logic cause.
All right, here we go. What's that noise, John? I can hear that. Let's go. Lean back a bit.
Wait, I've got a toothache. Hold on.
No.
John, we've got literally an hour before it's 7:30.
Go.
Hello, and what? Jesus.
You want a butter menthol? There's a way to aim for the lower part where the connector bit is.
Needs 2 turns.
Oh, did he manage to
sorry.
do the thing that I was aiming for? So to chop the connector bit,
You
chop
can't-
out the connector bit. I want to damage it.
You can hack off bits and health, but she's still got health and wounds.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it so that the connector bit can't function.
Cool. But if I say I cut off your arm and I say you now no longer have an arm, you'll be mad. Wouldn't you?
I'm just asking. You
Yeah.
can just say no.
It's not that quite specific unless you get a critical effect or something.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can't-
cool.
okay.
Yeah, well,
You know what I
that's-
mean,
That's
though.
easy. That's an easy answer. We'll
Yeah.
go with that. Critical hit equals death.